In December 2011, Farming Smarter held its annual conference and trade show at the Lethbridge Lodge Hotel, bringing together over 250 agricultural professionals and over 20 speakers. The conference served to educate members of the farming community on growing trends, opportunities, and issues facing today's agricultural industry. We now take you to the Farming Smarter Conference to view the presentation of our speakers.
So we're going to switch it up now. We've got 3 short sessions. And then we're going to herd everyone through the back downstairs. I'm going to start off with about a 15-minute talk, followed by 2 of our staff, Brent Nickel right here, and Mike Gretzinger just showed up on time, so you still have a job. It's good. What's that? Okay, so this is a nice little aerial shot of our research site just outside of Lethbridge here. I know some of you have seen this at our diagnostic field school, some crop walks. It just so happens I had a pilot working for me this year, so we were lucky to get a free picture. So as I said before, Ken Coles, we're at the Weathering Agriculture Together conference. So just like Kevin, I like to get a little nostalgic once in a while too. And this is a shot of our original homestead, probably about 6 miles from here. And this is my great-grandfather with his trusted horses. And I always like to sort of think back about how agriculture was back then and how they dealt with some of the issues that we do, like innovation in particular. And this is a shot of them when they got their first tractor. And you can see your grandpa was an old Ukrainian here, so there is a glimmer of a smile there, I think, because he's excited about the tractor. But great-grandma, look at that face, if you can see that. She just looks distraught. It's probably a massive investment at the time and a complete shift in how they're doing things. But it's a lot of fun to sort of take a step back and, we're going to deal with these same types of issues, but at a much accelerated pace. So how do we deal with it? So one of the questions I said, how can I farm smarter? One particular answer, and there's many answers, but this is one that I like to bring up once in a while. And I actually caught this off an agricultural blog, ironically. And it says, I'm going to raise my game and surround myself with people that challenge me and my thinking. And this is an uncomfortable convention because we usually like to hang out with people that share our same ideas and our thoughts and our concepts and beliefs. But one thing that I would challenge everyone to do is to keep an open mind. And if there's an idea that you think, no, that's ridiculous, well, those are the types of situations you want to get yourself into to really push your envelope to think about new things in a different way and hopefully progress your business forward. So I'm going to be very clear with my short presentation on my objectives. I want to give you guys a brief understanding of what Farming Smarter is now, the organization. We've got 3 main programs that we're going to work on delivering: growing new ideas, growing knowledge, and growing stewardship. Yes, we've been working on our brand too. And just shortly, I want to talk about this concept of this Weathering Agriculture Together, because it's something that within our own committee, within our board, that we tend to talk about a lot, and how we can come up with creative ways to work together as an industry. So there's some serious opportunities with partnerships, and I think there's also some serious opportunities with leadership and change as we move forward as an industry. So just quickly, we mentioned SARA and SACA equals Farming Smarter. So we don't have to worry about what's SARA, what's SACA. We're the same organization now moving forward in 2012 that Craig mentioned earlier. A brief shot of our board of directors. This is something that I do like to show off because as businesses grow, they get busier, you have serious time constraints. These are the fellas and ladies that provide the leadership for our organization. They take this time out on a voluntary basis, and it's very important because without them, this organization wouldn't exist, and I'd like to thank all of them. Now that we have a joint board, we're a little bit bigger, and we've added Lawrence Brani, Ron Noga, Warren Cunningham, and Tony Brumahouse. At our March 1st AGM, we're going to try to bring it down to 12 board of directors. Very much important to our success as an organization has been the wonderful staff that we have. You can see that we've got a very young crew, so I wanted to introduce them to you briefly, and I'm going to put some hats on them so you know who they are. There's my pilot. Such a good pilot that he had to leave us and pursue his pilot's career. Regan. So Elizabeth Takari, many of you have known as working with a number of organizations. She's our financial manager. I'm the manager, so I'm the one barking the orders to everybody. Janice is the planner. That's the best I could come up with for a planner hat there. So that's her little day planner. She's been working very hard to put together this conference. Mike Gretzinger we'll call our little mad scientist there. And if you get to know him, he is sort of a little mad scientist. He is going to be in charge of that Growing New Ideas module program. Christina Halma is in charge of our field scale research. So she's got the combine hat and she's out working with growers on whatever project that we're working on that's field scale in nature. Brent Nickel is our little beanie hat there. That's his GPS. He's our GPS specialist as well as our communication specialist. So he's in charge of the growing knowledge component. And like any good farm or research, we need a good tool man, mechanic. So that's our mechanic. And also, because he's not here, I can get away with this. We have one of these too. One person that wasn't in the picture that was on maternity leave is Jamie. She's in charge of the Growing Stewardship Program, so she's got the little recycling hat. So we talk about partnerships, and Craig mentioned earlier about the overwhelming support that we've had from sponsors at today's event. We actually have been working on a lot of reports lately, not exactly a fun time of year in between conferences, but we added up, we're working with 70 distinct organizations. And it's no small feat, but just a visual representation of all of the logos. So, you know, it's hats off to everybody that are willing to work with us, because without these partnerships, we wouldn't be where we're at. And I think that we're really starting to make some good progress. So briefly, to explain what I mean by the Growing New Ideas. So this is really what it says is we're trying to help innovation progress. So our mission statement for this program would be to support innovation progress by partnering with progressive farms, agricultural companies, grower groups, and government to deliver unbiased information through small plot and field scale research. So it's ground level work. Some examples of the projects that we've been working on, you're probably well aware of. We've been playing around with winter pulses for the last 4 years. We've got a large winter wheat program now partnered with Ag Canada. Very excited about this precision ag tools and the opportunity that it has for on-farm research and variable rate in the whole 9 yards. We've had an inter-row seeding project. We're working with Fusarium head blight, and one project was looking at a biofungicide for controlling sclerotinia. So a couple of quick shots of the winter peas this year was actually our best go at it. We had wonderful success with it, so kind of renews our hope to keep working with it. There's a shot, and you can see in the background, there's the spring peas, so a huge advantage when we do get good winter survival. I'm not going to say jump up and down and go grow winter peas, but it's something that we do have some excitement for, a novel idea. Beautiful stand of winter lentils. And then these are some of our winter wheat trials working with Ag Canada. And we're quite involved with a number of projects that come under the radar. We're involved in the insect pest monitoring. See, he's pretty happy about doing that too, so that's great. Just a shot to show that, you know, a lot of the work that we do is quite intensive, and this is an industry contract with Agrotain where we're installing a bunch of PRS probes. I mean, well, I'm taking the picture, they're installing it, so it's good to bring in some projects, but just to recognize that there is a lot of work that goes into it. We partnered with other companies to do demonstration plots like these Secan trials. Mentioned the Fusarium head blight trial where we're looking at irrigation scheduling as well as fungicides to help control head blight. The inter-row seeding trial that Brent will talk about shortly. And we're involved in the at least the pulse regional variety trials, and that's the information that goes into the Alberta seed guides. Precision ag tools for on-farm research. Now, I really like this shot, and when I was putting the presentation, I realized that the guy in the combine was a little bit bored. So you can see he's got auto steer in there. He's got his hand like this, or he's talking on the phone, one or the other. But the fact is we've got a lot more time to do things like that. He could be looking at his yield monitor, doing the field scale research. Here's a crazy new idea that we're trying, thanks to Don Bowles, wherever he is. I know he's down here, but we put in an application to study this idea of night spraying, and it's really based on the fact that we have auto steer and we can get away with it. So Southern Alberta, especially this spring, I was out working on projects and saw farmers doing their burn down in 40, 50 kilometer an hour plus winds. Maybe if we can prove that there's good efficacy at night, there might even be improved efficacy, but it's a new project that might help increase the window of being able to apply. You might be able to cover more acres. You might even be able to get better use of your chemicals and be able to drop water volumes or perhaps rates. So that's one of the new projects that we're looking forward to working on. And Mike, of course, is looking forward to getting up at 3 in the morning and spraying. So the growing knowledge component, our objective for this is to improve our competitiveness by facilitating information exchange, networking, and dialogue through high-quality informative events and advanced interactive communication media. So examples of this are the new website that we're working on. We have the Farming Smarter magazine that we're publishing twice a year, is also available online. We've got the field school, today's conference, e-newsletters, and our Twitter network, and all of the fancy stuff like that. Quick shot of our field school. We had a good time this year. This is Ron Howard. He says, "I heart you, Farming Smarter." And canola says, Troy with the Canola Council says, "Wait a minute, this isn't canola." We have a great partnership. Now we have a site in the county of Cypress in conjunction with that county. So we've had a field tour out there and a number of research projects. And to show that we don't just get up and speak in front of people, we try to get our crop tours interactive. And we end up with situations like this. And you wonder what the heck's going on. Well, I looked at this and I thought this is just a great opportunity to throw in some captions. I don't feel so good. Can anyone find my marbles? I think that's Ron Noga, actually. So. This poor guy says, "Things aren't looking so good back here." This guy says, I hope it's a new what not to wear on tonight. And this guy, he's got a AFSC hat on there. He's wondering if I get a sore back rider on his insurance. And this poor sap over here, man, I hope the Riders make the playoffs this year. Which, of course, they didn't. And I don't care. Quick shot of our new website. This is working with Media Button. We're going to be launching sometime in January. So we're trying to streamline how you get your information. So we look forward to that launch. If you hadn't noticed, we were videotaping a lot of our events. Now we haven't quite gotten all of these posted yet, but this past year we videotaped all of our events. And rather than just having short blurbs, we're planning to post the entire content on our site. So if, for example, you were at the agronomy update and you saw that great wireworm presentation and you want to go revisit it, we're going to create an entire video library so that at your most boring moment you can revisit some of that. But looking forward to that. Same thing goes for this conference. We're going to have this all posted online. Working with YouTube, it's been a while to figure out to actually how to, everybody's talking about posting little blurbs here and there. We're going to take the different approach and try to post the entire content so that, you can move from the beginning to the end of the presentation, look at parts that you like, and it's all there. So this is actually Don Bowles and Bob Blackshaw at this year's field school talking about this concept of night spraying. The online magazine. Here's a shot of our mobile phone. All of our staff now, we have smartphones. We think this Twitter idea is a fantastic way to get information, and this is a pretty clear example of it. Here's Christina. She tweets a nice video on how to control Fusarium head blight. I'm trying to engage some dialogue regarding the regional variety trials and if they're worth the investment. And then here, Lethbridge Herald actually had an article out, Farmers Tweet, you bet they do. So we've got a live link of all these feeds on our website to try to engage people, but you think back to that guy in the combine not really doing much. Great opportunity to keep in touch with what's going on and so forth. But once in a while, people just need to learn to open their mouths and talk to one another. So that's just taken a little bit too far there. The Growing Stewardship is our newest program, and we're trying to take a different angle on this whole environmental stewardship thing. So our objective now is to capitalize on stewardship opportunities by branding successes, increasing awareness, and promoting the adoption of practices that maintain or improve environmental assets in production agriculture. We're working on a project where we're trying to develop what the actual environmental issues and priorities are in southern Alberta that are science-based. We've got an energy project that Mike is actually going to talk about in a few minutes. And of course, I think there's a lot of opportunities with precision agriculture when it comes to stewardship. Whenever I think about stewardship, this was actually a project that Sarah was working on a number of years back, and this was the pea wheat rotation. And a farmer out north of Medicine Hat phoned me up and said, "Ken, I got something to show you." And I think it might make a neat picture. And this is thinking back to past innovations that we've been so successful on, but we haven't really done a great job at selling it to, other parts of the industry, other parts of the world. This is an across the fence type thing. So he's been in low disturbance, zero tillage for a number of years. It's quite hilly and rolling. There's lots of water that runs by. And you cross the fence here into a conventional system. And right here, I did have some pictures of him standing there, but they weren't really all that nice of him, so I didn't want to embarrass him. It's a 6-foot drop right across the fence where all of the soil had been eroded simply by a different agricultural system. So we're going to try to delve into some of these issues, try to promote the good successes that we've had with stewardship, and maybe even have some branding and opportunities to capitalize on it. A couple of quick mentions of some events that are coming up as I wrap up. We did decide to go forward with a conference completely dedicated to precision agriculture. That's coming up in Calgary, February 22nd, 23rd. For more information, check out their website, precision-ag.ca. We're really looking forward to that one. Our annual meeting's March 1st at the Ag Expo. We'll be giving away some passes to Ag Expo. We'll have a number of good speakers, so we look forward to seeing you there. And I'm just going to talk quickly about the together part, the partnerships that we were talking about. So what I see is that when you start thinking about partnerships, you have to have a good understanding of your own strengths, your weaknesses, and your preferences. And as a manager now myself, you can't do everything. So sometimes it's about, okay, I'm going to work on this because it's a strength, but I may have a strength in an area, but I just don't have the time. So that's where partnering with other people really helps to get those types of things done and make sure they get done. I think you have to be really quite creative to form alliances that do add value to hopefully both sides of the partnership. It helps with the time management, and it always helps with those priorities. Like I'd love to do more on-farm research, but I'm busy at harvest. Well, maybe that's something that you get somebody to help you out with, because the data is going to help you. And I think we have still a tremendous opportunity with all of the technologies involved to do a better job at capitalizing on collective intelligence. And that's just a fancy way of saying 2 heads are better than 1. But there's more and more information out there. So the trick is really trying to figure out where we should be setting our priorities. And I think we need to be doing a better job at building a more unified voice on common ground and common issues. And I think there's actually some tremendous opportunities moving forward with this. So the leadership and change part is one thing that I think successful people do. The first thing is of course recognizing where an opportunity is. The second thing is being able to jump and take action on that one. I think we're at a point right now when it comes to grower groups and such that there's just a tremendous amount of opportunity, and we really need to capitalize that as producers to take advantage of what resources are out there. Government support is available, but you'll notice it's been dwindling. And the message out there is that, okay, we've got it figured out in production agriculture. We need to invest innovation somewhere else. Now, that really concerns me. They're also saying that it needs to be industry-led. So there's still funds available, but it has to be us that takes the bulls by the horn and says, yeah, we need work in this area. And I think we need to honestly rethink our current structure and priorities for research and marketing and how those priorities are decided upon. So this is just quickly to show, these are the grower groups that are involved. I threw up here too what the All Wheat Commission idea. I've been just awestruck for the last 2 years. There have been proposals put forward to further look at this fusarium head blight issue, which is a real issue. And both times they have been not approved. And I think, maybe part of it is because there isn't a wheat commission that's saying, hey, this is important to our growers, we need to do this. So being able to put these groups in action and working together a little bit more. Like, would you think that it's kind of a sad thing that if grower groups are not connected with growers? You know, this is a problem that's being faced. So, you know, that's part of the reason why we've had the grower groups, you know, regional meetings join the conference, so that we can get people re-engaged. And the leadership and time that you guys put forward is absolutely amazing in the results that you can get. So I guess this is a plug. Make sure you make it to the breakfast meeting for the Winter Wheat Commission tomorrow. So thank you very much. Appreciate your attendance, and we're looking forward to a fun evening.